Coming to you from the international broadcast station somewhere at the top of the Sky Palace, this is the Final Fantasy Randomizers 2019 Spring Tournament here on the Speed Gaming Family of Networks. We have a Swiss Round 3 matchup tonight between ArsonHorse and DDG ready to go here. These are 1-1 records going against each other, and we're going to see who automatically qualifies for the play-in after this race tonight. Hey everyone, I'm Cyclone, and I'm joined by Cesardia. How are you doing today? Sorry, it's actually not up here yet, so I will get back to him in a moment. Anyway, on the play-in format, whoever wins tonight is going to qualify for the play-in race. 2 wins will qualify a runner for that. Of course, anything beyond that, they have a chance of making the brackets pretty much guaranteed. So I think Sar is with us in the channel.
Yes, good evening, Speed Gaming. I did manage to get in here. Temporal distortions have allowed me to join us this evening on the mic.
Temporal distortions, I will not even ask what that means. Anyway, we are all set with the race ready to go here. So as you can see, the seeds for this week are going to have the Red Mage as a forced party member. I like that. And the Black Mage banned. I don't know if I like that. So if there is any magic in a later slot, it's going to be unavailable to the rest.
That's true. A lot of these seeds this week, I think, are going to come down to what that Red Mage / Red Wizard is capable of learning, and if the tail is able to be found, come into play, and possibly give you that extra spell you might need.
And looks like ArsonHorse has set up a party. I've seen these names before. ATST, Noin Jin, and we have Ben, DD, ISS, and Fred. Hey, I love seeing Fred on the other side with DDG. Of course, we yell at him whenever anything is too vanilla in a game of any form. So, what do you think of these party selections?
Ready.
What do you think of these party selections today?
Wow, well, I think it's pretty bold from both runners electing not to go with the second fighter. Both are heavily investing in the magic that will be available to these Red Mages, I think, at this early interval. I don't think one of them will actually end up changing party once we begin. Could be a factor late, though. Red Mage is not known for its high hit points.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see. They have the exact same party makeup. It doesn't look like it at first, but if you notice, the Red Mage and the Fighter are switched around on each side, so they are exactly the same party. It's going to be interesting to see how they decide to make up the party. I would not be surprised to see the Fighter get moved to the front of the party very quickly. I'm curious whether there'll be a 3-man formation from either runner, or whether it's going to be both 4-runners all the way. So a lot of strategy possibly at play here today.
I think it's all going to come down to level 1 through 4 magic, the 3-man strat.
Exactly. If the black magic is not going to be convenient for the Red Mage, I can see them potentially dumping one of the Red Mages to the side very quickly.
Alright, I think we're all ready to go here. I'm going to give Mr. Broadstone a word. Thank you to Mr. Broadstone for helping us out this evening.
It looks like the race has already started on SRL, so we're just waiting for it to catch up here. We should be underway. So, Red Mage, Fighter, and White Mage on both sides. We're ready to begin this race, so it should be starting in just a second here. And again, this is a 1-1 matchup, so both runners are on 1-1. Whoever wins this race today is going to automatically qualify for the play-in race. Of course, they want to do better and make the brackets automatically instead of just waiting for a play-in. So, Cure 4 at level 1. Look at that. That is quite a spell for level 1.
Yes, we have some very nice spell selections here. We have early AoE. Ice 3 is right below Fade and Nuke when it comes to overall damage. Life available, Wall available. Should be a quick start. And DDG is already.
That was quick for a party reset. We're going to get a look at the shielding items over here. We have a cap, some steel armor, a silver bracelet, steel armor at 33,000 gold in the initial shop. Wow.
DDG is going with the Meowth strat, and 2 White Mages have appeared.
I do not blame him for doing this, with Cure 4 being so nice up there. He's planning to abuse that, I would say.
This is a surprising play to me. I'm not sure that I would invest in level 1 Cure 4. If Fade were available, then might sway me. However, this strat might benefit him late. We'll have to find out.
I'm not a fan of the 2 White Mage strategy myself, and I'm echoing what someone else says in chat there, but it'll be interesting to see how DDG plays this to see if it works out. ArsonHorse, meanwhile, while DDG was remaking the party, already on the way to Temple Fiends Revisit. We're going to see what kind of wonderful nastiness is waiting over there today. Silver Sword, by the way, is sitting in the weapon shop for $3,000.
A little pricey, but the best weapon you can buy for your fighter.
But they may find something else as we get up here, so we're going to find out as DDG quickly gets over there. And what a great run there. No enemies at all. But he's going to have to take a fight in here to get some experience.
It looks like he's going all-out run.
Now he's relying on the Cure 4 to get through here quickly. 213 gold in that chest, so that is not worth it. The 2 chests on the right are locked by the Mystic Key. I should say the 2 rooms. There's 3 chests over there. So those 3 chests are not in play yet until the key is found. There is another room up here that we are going to get into, and there are 2 chests in there. There's the Mazmoon already. Wow! And a ribbon.
Okay, who rolled this?
I don't think I want to answer that question yet. By the way, DDG has stop cast on him. I don't... I think it was a crawl that did that, but I'm not sure. But his fighter is currently unable to do anything.
DDG actually fortunate there to be finding that Mazmoon. That's going to allow them to one-shot Garland here, most likely. Ice 3 also available.
I just noticed ArsonHorse has 2 of his characters stopped as well, so Mazmoon should still take out Garland very fast. And then we're going to get some soft potions back at the village. So Mazmoon, a ribbon, and Cure 4 right out of the gate. This is going to be a very, very simple setup here. As the ship and the bottle are both found, we already have sailing. The only thing that could make this even better for the runners is Floater in the next town.
Yeah, that would be the run of ages, wouldn't it?
It would be absolutely the run of ages. They have a free canal as well, so they can just leave whenever they want to.
I'm going to update notes here for our tracking. Well, we have a ribbon, we have a Mazmoon. This is obviously, I think, going to influence an early grind, possibly even a solo fighter grind we might see.
I could see some early grinding on some very otherwise tough enemies. The Mazmoon is a weapon that is an end-game weapon. It's not something you're supposed to have at this point in the game. Normally in vanilla, you're expected to have 3 Fiends down, I think, by the time you're able to get it with the Adamant. Unless you route it in differently. So, yeah, being able to have it right out of the first area is quite a boost. And we're on Credit Bridge.
DDG giving us the storyline there. Gotta love it.
DDG is not going to waste time on the bridge. And nice hue of shark on his screen. There's an ice sword, a flame shield, and 2,000 gold. So yeah, there's your ice sword in case Mazmoon wasn't enough.
Some quality weapons being found here very early in this run. Looks like we've discovered Gaia on DDG's side.
And I think that was in the Provoca location because I saw him heading in that direction. So Gaia and Provoca. The magic over there will not be usable for quite some time, so that's like level 7, level 8 magic, I believe.
Yeah, 7 and 8 shops there. We also saw houses, and they were quite expensive. I think I saw 5,600.
Ooh, yeah, the housing market is awful. Couldn't all be free, right?
They must be boardwalk houses.
And we found about, I'm going to do math on Twitch, 434 gold in Dwarf Cave. Hooray!
Math on Twitch, beware. We're going to open that temporal vortex.
We found an almond over at Elfland, by the way. And I'm just curious, it'd be interesting to see if DDG decides to... Looks like he might be going towards the cave area here. Marsh cave area. Looks like he does still need the canoe. Doesn't want to travel around with the ship yet. Might want to see what's in Marsh cave because he does have the Mazmoon possibly. Oh no, he went back to Cordelia.
I think DDG is out for information at this point, as we find the Oxyale is the item from the ferry.
That is...
Fred?
Hey, get out of the party from DDG side and randomize us more, Fred. Come on.
Fred is here in spirit.
Yes.
And DDG is looking for possibly a couple levels here. He definitely needs them.
Mazagune should make that fairly simple as long as the hordes aren't too big, because that can obviously cause some trouble with the big horde with heavy casting spells. DD, by the way, is dead.
Some great items found early, but also some dangerous enemies. Mixed bunch here.
It's starting to look like DD might be happy with the fighter being lower level to start out because of the Maz immune. May choose to level that up later, so might be working on the mages right now, trying to get them leveled up a little bit more.
Alright, confirmed that the house is actually 3,600, not 5,600, so a little less than vanilla.
Have we seen cabins and tents yet?
I believe we did see cabins. I think Arson found some in Gaia. No, there were none in Gaia. He must have found it in Corneria.
Ah. And Arson getting his 434 gold. Hooray!
Poverty dwarves!
And ArsonHorse is sailing.
So given what we found thus far, it looks like all signs are pointing toward Marsh Cave.
Yeah, Marsh Cave looks like a early visit here, from what I can tell.
We saw those ghouls earlier. Those could come into play.
Now, ArsonHorse has not seen town at Elfland yet, so he's going to see that for the first time now. As he first has to encounter some creeps and an ogre who just ambushed him.
Most likely be seeing a lot of ambushes, as there are no thieves present for this race.
And Ice 3 makes quick work of the flock, and he now enters the town and says, "Hello, Melman. Want to grind here?"
Heal 3 and Viz 2 spotted in the white magic level 5 shop.
We're going to get an early look at the wraith, so we'll see later at Ice Cave, but nope, maybe not. Not enough, just an attack.
Saber, Quad X, and Zap in the black magic level 5 magic shop.
Oh, and Noin is quickly takes the fall from the wraith. No spells noticed yet, just a couple quick attacks, and one Algin is down too. And so is Gun, and this could be a wipe. That is a wipe.
Oh no!
Those wraiths are strong today.
They are, and with Ice 3 being available, you don't really stand much chance at Peninsula Power.
So, DDG is dealing with a matter of some imps here. And now riding on some wolves. Actually, he's running from all... Oh, Frost on the imps! That is not good. And running is very hard.
And at 10 minutes, 20 seconds, ArsonHorse is into Marsh Cave.
DDG almost got wiped. Looks like he's going to have to use life and recover everybody here, which he is very happy to do.
Melman can be a dangerous place.
Who knew?
There's also that rare chance of finding the vampire in Melman.
Oh, I wasn't aware of that. That's interesting to know. Or isn't he just like a speed bump anyway?
Sometimes. Other times he can roll with things like Fire 3 or something else nasty.
Sounds appetizing. So we found a couple gargoyles, and they didn't fuss too much.
Sounds appetizing. Does that mean vampire is the new steak?
Steak. There's a weird sword in case Mazmune and an ice sword were not enough for you.
Roo.
And we have a tent and a cabin in this chamber as well, and let's see what the bones have today.
If we picked up a light axe there, that could be useful in getting through this marsh cave.
Already put to good use here. The bones didn't have a chance. Oh, neither did Jin.
Crawl can be a terrifying enemy, not so much because of its hit points or its attack power, but if it rolls with something like stun touch, death touch, it has very high hit and will hit you several times.
We found the grips on DDG's side, along with a werewolf, and they cause him no problems.
Yeah, DDG getting those key levels that he's going to need now to get through this marsh cave.
It looks like the crawl is not causing a lot of damage to Noin, which is good news.
And we have a high five imminent.
Oh, after a group of muck. And another group of muck.
So Marsh Cave is not a place that most runners prefer to dive. They will most likely skip it and come back later, simply because of the frequency of enemies that you encounter in Marsh Cave. There are large groups, there's lots of different types, and in Randomizer, with this flag set, that increases your chances of getting hit with any number of spells.
Meanwhile, we just had our high five and the runners have switched places here, so DDG is now raiding the items on the second floor, or this part of the second floor, and ArsonHorse is now heading outside, probably to save his progress. And he's done here for now. He's going to come back later, it looks like.
Yeah, Arson electing to head north here. Maybe he doesn't feel comfortable diving deeper?
That may be the case, but I think we have to find what the incentivized item is in there. Maybe he just decided he wants to go sailing instead and avoid Marsh Cave as long as he can. I mean, the world is open to him at this point with the ship. The only places he can't go to are those that are blocked by a canoe.
I believe Gaia is also off the table, and Leafin.
Correct. Those are under the airship, that's right.
Waterfall as well.
Oh, Elfland, we have lots of magic here.
Is this another vanilla find?
No,
Temper
this is over, I think, in the Melmond area. Oh, you mean Temper and Stop?
No, I meant if Elfland was actually shuffled to its vanilla location, but
no, no, Elfland is replaced by Melmond in its vanilla location. So I think they just switched places.
Fog 2 and Harm 3 available for level 3 white magic. Possibly
Harm
something
4.
for the night. Harm 4.
Quake and Bane. Will Cleosis would like seeing Bane there.
Yeah, Will Cleosis, man, what a race. This guy, he is a gambling man.
Yeah, if you didn't see that race the other day, go watch it.
Yes, no spoilers. Go watch that race. Go watch all the randomizer races. They've all been just so entertaining. And we're only in week 3 here.
We still got 3 weeks of Swiss coming up here, right through race 5 or week 5, and we still have brackets after that.
The play-in is going to be amazing. There's nothing better than coordinating a 16-plus entrant race across 4 different channels, all starting at the same time.
With a whole commentary team on each of the 4 channels, too. That's a lot of work. Amazing to pull something like that off. That bat is getting in DDG's way. He didn't like that bat, it looks like. Finds a house.
We get our first look at this spike tile here, and these wizards will most likely be runnable.
In DDG side, they look like sorcerers, but they are wizards. They are runnable. He's going to try using Ice 3, though. And Cure 4 on DVD. Hopefully he doesn't die first. Nope, died first. Cure 4 was too slow.
That is a big risk by DDG here.
Fred is also dead.
Ian saved him.
He's 2 runners down, but he has life, so he's just gonna perk him right back up. Look at that!
So it wasn't easy to get to, but it was absolutely worth it, as that's pretty much the item to find early if you're hoping to save any time at all.
That could be an early death knell for ArsonHorse, who is over at Crescent Lake right now. He didn't go any further to look for that floater.
It could be if he elects to start digging elsewhere, and DDG takes to the air.
Sorry, go ahead.
When you're in the air, you basically double any lead you would have over someone who's not in the air, as opposed to being in the ship or in the canoe.
Absolutely, and the fact that he is already over here in the ship, now there is a dock nicely positioned. This dock was not there in the middle of the game. This was added for the randomizer. For this flag set, you can use a dock that is positioned south of the desert to go get your floater, so you don't need the canoe. So he could have come over here with that floater and gotten his airship right then, and been able to fly to the locations that are locked by canoe. The ice, talked about ice cave, about volcano. A lot of time saved than trying to go through the river with the canoe, even if you have the canoe. So that's going to give DDG a huge advantage over ArsonHorse in this race.
And speaking of DDG, a clincher there as the Scums revealed Thunder, and he barely survives it. This is where those 2 white mages are already paying dividends.
Meanwhile, the Provoca pirate horde is found at Crescent Lake today. And they aren't any good, like usual.
Oh, it's a key. Arson has more chess to think about now.
I would say that's a key item.
Could steer him away from that floater. Or it could actually steer him toward it with key lock chest in Marsh Cave. Ah, Bicky. You're such a pirate. Oh no, and shadows are revealing glare. That could be trouble, as they like to ambush.
So ArsonHorse is back in his ship because he was not able to get the floater out of Marsh Cave. This is going to be a slog for him. Let's just hope DDG can get out alive, because he is about to die, and he died. He has to go get the floater again.
Oh no, he took the wipe. This Marsh Cave is pretty scary. It's a high risk, high reward Marsh Cave.
So the floater magically vanishes from his inventory, and we're going to give that another try here.
And Arson assailing, he will go.
So this is what ArsonHorse kind of needs right now, because he put this off thinking it's going to be too dangerous to get it in and out right now. DDG is proving that right now, having trouble getting out with the floater. Gonna give it a second try, but if he can get out on the second or third try, he can still make up time on ArsonHorse with the ability to fly.
DDG has to think about taking less steps in here maybe, and straight line to that floater and out.
Picked a little bit of gold that was above it while he went, and now to the wizards, the sorcerer wizards. And he's not running, he wants to get the experience, so he's still going to take the fight. Which, like you said before, that's risky. But again, if you don't run, that's risky too.
And we have a cube sighting for 17,003 as the vendor item in Crescent Lake.
And I didn't see where that is. I'm gonna assume
it's on rock.
Probably. I was gonna say it's probably on rock that it's in. So he's going to make his way over shortly after we get the magic warp is found. So over to the wizards. Someone forgot to give them their meds, it looks like.
Sometimes the wizards get a hold of that herb and they start wandering everywhere, or sometimes they get hold of the bottle and they start getting all temperamental. Uh-oh, DDG's in trouble here.
Speaking of the herb,
there you go. That's why they're wandering.
yeah, now we know why they're wandering. It's they got a little bit of that herb.
And DDG again escapes from those literal scums.
Those scummy creatures.
He's got to get out of here. Welcome, Zeller. You haven't missed too much thus far. We did discover a floater here.
We'll give you a brief catch-up of some of what we know so far here for those who are coming in late, because this race, some people like to join as we go here, which is perfectly fine. Welcome to everyone who's joining us late. So, a little bit of a highlight. So we have a bottle and a ship in the on the Royals when we defeat Garland. Speaking of Garland, his old abandoned temple had Mazamune sitting in it today, and I think a ribbon was sitting next to it. We found the Oxyel as a vanilla item from Gaia to fill the bottle in the Provoca spot. And that's really the real highlight so far. The next time after that was the floater that we found in Marsh Cave, which DDG I did get out with, so he's going to go get his airship shortly.
Very nice recap. Thank you, Cyclone.
Indeed.
Recap hype. And DDG has escaped with his floater. He's on his way.
Now, there's one thing in the runner's inventory as well. Again, for those coming in late, we have Cure 4 and Life at level 1 magic. So that's going to be something that gets abused. DDG actually remade his party after he found that and put 2 white mages in his party to take advantage of that. So that will be a very interesting decision. We'll see how that plays out for him.
DDG now having a look here in Melmond, which is a dangerous place.
Well, you have wraiths wandering around. I would say it's dangerous. We have a canoe.
There is the canoe. The elf prince has spent all his time working on that canoe. He must have had a nap.
Yeah, he must have been tired after the peak of that canoe. And of course, Arson's going to check out the key chest while he's here. Could find a loose item. This could be a good thing. Nope, not this time.
Yeah, this canoe can be concerning. He's got more options now that could steer him away from Marsh.
Yeah, the best thing that could have happened for him was to not get the canoe there. That's honestly, I think, the best thing that could have happened.
DDG is sailing directly toward the Ryukon Desert. He wants that airship. What routing will he take once he has it?
I could see him going to the volcano, actually, to check out the armory. ArsonHorse is going back to Marsh. He is going to do the dig now. This is actually a good move because he now has more health. He's going to have an easier time, or more levels, obviously. He's going to have an easier time getting through here. So he'll be able to do this in one shot. He did lose a little bit of time to DDG, who is going to have his airship soon, though, after doing the Crescent Lake search. At the same time, DDG lost time taking a death, but he almost got out of Marsh on the first go. So, kind of goes both ways.
It can definitely go both ways, yes.
Now, when ArsonHorse picks up his flower, do you think he's going to keep collecting chests with the Mystic Key, or do you think he's just going to get out of it?
Well, he's going to discover that floater. So I think that's probably going to steer him toward getting out of here. But you got the key. You might as well full clear it. There's always that slim chance of something being in there.
Yeah, those random chests, they can be a pain if you have something hiding in there. And if he digs it out and DDG didn't dig that out, that could be an advantage back in his favor.
Some good black magic at level 2 there. I think I saw Lightning 3.
I didn't catch it, but Lightning 3 would be a great spell to have. Looks like the Scum have heat today.
That's not all they have. They're packing.
Mm-hmm.
DDG's going to discover how vanilla this bottle turn-in actually is.
Well, at least it's not filled with vanilla.
Arson having no trouble in the Marsh Cave thus far. He can make up time if he can get in and out of here with no wipes.
7 gold in that chest. Beautiful. And here is the wizard battle. This should be no problem for him at his current levels. And that was no problem for him at his current levels.
And he now picks up that floater. Question in chat, what does Oxyale taste like? As a proud consumer of Oxyale, I can definitely say that it tastes a little bit like Crystal Pepsi.
I would not know that. I would have said it tastes like air. ArsonHorse is not checking any more chests here despite having the key. He checked a couple of convenient ones on the way out, but he's out of here.
Yeah, once you see floater, the next thing you're thinking about is how quick can I get to go mode, so...
Marsh is one of those places you only want to dig once, though. If you have the key and you can get everything out of here at once to make sure nothing is left behind, I would have a hard time saying no to that.
Looks like DDG plundered a heel helmet out of the coronary armory here.
He also stole the treasury.
Well, we're coming up here on the half-hour mark, and I think it's time for us to do a little plugging of the polls here. We want all the votes we can get from you people. We've got 2 polls going for the spring tournament. First of all, we want to know who's going to be the mascot for the spring tournament, as DDG finds another heel helmet and a pro ring in the Elven armory.
Actually, we saw these already on ArsonHorse's side. He actually dug those items out, too.
Oh, nice.
And
we also have the bonus stream.
ArsonHorse does not have the crown, but he's going to the castle anyway to see what these 3 chests have. These are items he can pick up now. There's the second ribbon. There's a white shirt. That will be handy when he grows up. And I think there was a house in the 3rd chest.
Wow, that was a really good check for Arson there. 2 big items in a relatively unchecked location.
Easy to miss, too. And once you've gone through with Astros once, you don't want to go back there.
So just get your votes in for the bonus stream. At the conclusion of the spring tournament, when we have a winner, there's usually about a week or 2 downtime to get ready for the bonus stream, and then everybody get ready, because the bonus stream is wild and wacky, and anything can happen.
ArsonHorse is soon going to take flight.
Yeah, looks like he is about 6 minutes differential from DDG.
He does have a little bit of extra exploration compared to DDG, but at the same time, DDG is making up time fast with that airship, so it might be a little bit more negligible at this point in terms of difference. We'll see how that plays out when they get into their dungeon.
This is going to come down to routing. How much time can you save in the air? Chest density. We haven't seen Sarda yet.
Correct. That is another key item.
And then there's Ice Cave. We've had seeds where Ice Cave was not required. We've had seeds where Ice Cave was not only required, but absolutely loaded. And also absolutely deadly, so...
And also keep in mind that there are 2 loose items in random chests somewhere in the world that are not considered in incentivized locations. So we could have something really silly like a ruby located in... Well, the ruby wouldn't matter now, but just using it as an example, we could have a ruby sitting in Sky Tower somewhere. Sky Castle. We could have a what's another key item I can think of here? Let's say the key. Well, the cube we've already found. Let's TNT. Let's say the TNT could be found sitting in the water in the sea shrine. So any random item could be in any random chest that we haven't already found. And Sarda has the adamant today.
Sarda working on his smithy there.
Question in chat, are you weird for preferring ice to marsh? I wouldn't say so. I personally don't like Marsh Cave a lot, but if I have the levels, I don't mind going through ice as long as I can get through it.
And we have ourselves the lazy dwarves.
Speaking of TNT, there it is. We're just calling out items and they're appearing today. But see, I'm 2 for 2 on that.
Wow. Somebody's got the inside info here. Are we going to see a Fed Titan this seed?
Because of the airship, I would say no. But it may just depend on runner preference and if they decide to go with the 4 chests out of this cave.
DDG saving in the air. He's going to check these Carly Islands. It's a good move. You want to check before you check these islands in case there's nothing in here. You save anywhere from 5 to 10 seconds on a quick reset.
Looks like money in those chests. That's about 10,000 bucks. That could be useful later, so you might hang on to that.
Yeah, anytime I find a chest with about 3-4k, maybe even 2k if I'm desperate, I'll try to get out with it.
In this case, it's a free exit, so no reason not to. Giant sword. Ooh, Thor hammer is found.
DDG now has the power of Thor in his hand. Who will he give it to?
Well, it's about another 8,000 bucks. And here's the next cave up for bids. See Hope Potion there. ArsonHorse, meanwhile, is in the volcano. Like I thought someone might go there soon, so he is there now. He's going to eventually be checking the armory. So DDG, I didn't see the last time we picked up, but he is done there. He is now heading over, it looks like, to the Desert Merchant. The Oasis.
Yeah, it's one of the nice things that the devs have done here is they've allowed the buy 10 option at the Oasis, meaning his goods can be purchased in quantity, which makes it a much more lucrative stop. It's a lot quicker to stop than on-rack, and it's in the same area.
And DDG getting some bad RNG for encounters coming out of the airship, and then realize, you know what, I don't want to be here yet.
It's a pretty rough current.
I've been watching all the items here, but I'm seeing what's there now. We see a cloth. We see some money. It's a cabin.
Arson found a defense sword there in the armory.
Yep. DG finds Lufane and is out of there because he doesn't have any way to communicate with him yet. And, uh-oh. Gargoyles have Blizzard.
That's cold.
Indeed. He survives, though.
Those ribbons. Stepping up there for Arson.
And he's gonna leave and heal outside while he can.
Definitely a good move. You've seen the Red Gargoyles have Blizzard now.
And I guess he's done for now since he sees the Red Gargoyles have Blizzard. He's trying to figure out where he wants to go. He seems to be going all over the place, but seems to be looking at Dwarf Cave now. He's sitting on the ground near the cave. And stops and saves again, and now he heads in.
Yeah, I think he's thinking chest density right now. He's hitting armory, he's hitting these keylock chests here.
back and forth time can also hurt, though, if we don't find anything useful in these different places. And Dwarf Cave usually tends to have a lot of money, and so far that seems to be the case, except for that Great Axe. It's otherwise been all money.
And with Oxyale in hand, DDG is going to dive on in here.
I will assume that was a pun.
This is a gamble. His levels are low. He has Lightning 3. If he can get some of these high experience encounters and get out, he might be able to get a Mermaid's Dig and get up.
He might be thinking it's a good time to grind and not really go in yet. Oh, he's trying to find the chest item. Okay. House. Wish I could get a free house like that.
Unrunnable combination here.
Yeah, this is not unrunnable. Interesting. Waters by themselves in the vanilla game are unrunnable, but the combination with Naga in this case is now considered unrunnable for this particular seed. Those Nagas, they have that glare, I tell you.
Beware the succubus.
DDD is near death. I assume he's going to get healed up a little bit. There he is.
And we find another unrunnable encounter. So Seashine quickly becoming a bit of a dicey place here.
That's getting a bit of a slog at this point. Trolls and lobsters are... Oh my goodness.
Wow, this is a startling find now. These enemies will not only be plaguing them here, but possibly late as well.
Yeah, these enemies are all unrunnable so far. I've not seen one runnable combination yet. Yeah, the sea troll by itself is still unrunnable.
Arson now taking measure of how lazy these dwarves actually are.
And then realizing that they couldn't feed other creatures themselves.
So DDG has had four unrunnable encounters in a row, and it's going to be a slog getting through this shrine for sure.
Yeah, if he doesn't find anything on the mermaid floor, I would say he's probably gonna just reset, get out of here, because I don't think you can get warp yet. I think he'll just reset, get out of here, and come back later.
Well, he was also picking up quite a bit of experience in gold, so you'll have to weigh that if he
It's
decides
a tough
to...
choice. We'll have to see what he decides to do. Speaking of gold, we have some gold, the heal helmet, and some other stuff over there for ArsonHorse right now. And the other stuff was all gold.
DDG does get out of Sea Shrine. He's going to play the smart play, not risk it. Take the gold he's got.
E-tap in the chat correctly confirming that Warp was level 6. I did see that. It is the second slot. So, well, it's not something that can be used very much yet, but I don't think it... I'm trying to remember when they have access to level 6 magic. Are they strong enough for that yet? They might have one or two at most if they can even use it now.
So we have seen wipes and terrifying enemies in Marsh Cave, in Volcano, in Sea Shrine, and I believe we saw them somewhere else as well.
Sorry?
I'm just taking measure of all the encounters we've seen thus far that have enemy sets with, you know, really nasty spells or Stone Touch. Temple, we saw a Stone Touch early.
Well, we could see one here in Ice Cave. Unrunnable Sorcerers. We have a couple of wraiths there. We know they were packing earlier.
Arson making the ice dive here. He wants information or possibly the item. As DDG is now making a play toward Ordeals, and we have a Tyro sighting. It's a very green Tyro.
I don't know if I would eat that one. Comment being made in chat, and I'm going to say this in a somewhat slightly more evil voice. Runners have to pay for early access to Floater.
Well, I'm taken back by that now. Every time I get early floater, I'm going to hear that in the back of my mind.
You're welcome.
If you get disgruntled messages from me at 3 a.m., you know why.
So we're gonna get a look at the trap tile on the right side, it looks like, for ArsonHorse. Those sorcerers are weak.
They must be mere apprentices.
And what do the mages have today? An ambush. And they didn't do much. All they did was try to beat them up, and they fell to one magic blast. $27 gold seems hardly worth it. We're on the trap tile. A glance from something there. The image had glance. We have cremate from the specters.
Oh, he's taking the ambush. This is a brutal trap tile.
This is a brutal ambush, absolutely. Trying to get a harm 4 out before he dies. Trying to run as well, but the run worked. And there are the Frosties. We got a pair at this time. They are runnable.
So we can chalk Ice Cave up on the list of dangerous places.
Silver Shield, not really worth it.
Hyena with Toxic coming out on DDG's side.
Ew. This looks deadly. Run, ISS! Run for your life! He did it.
And again, this white mage strategy he's got is keeping him afloat.
Keeping him alive.
Well, I guess he's in Volcano, so I guess we could say it's keeping him cool. Meanwhile, the Wraith trap tile. Or not trap tile, the Wraiths didn't do anything there, I meant to say. The Gurpeed just tried to be a bully and didn't work. I'm here for the cheers and jeers. I don't discriminate, chat. And now he's getting the business with these Blizzard Argoyles that are unrunnable. Oh my goodness.
My goodness.
Early Massa, early Floater, very deceptive in this race.
Yeah, you get the early goodies, but you have to really suffer for it. Wizards, by the way, on ArsonHorse's side, and they were rather undangerous.
DDG's now gonna come into this ice cave and try and plunder the riches that await.
We found a rune sword over here, and now we're gonna see what's in the eye chest once we deal, of course, with the eye. And that's a good eye down. There is your tail, and you know what? We have the airship. We've been to the Cardi Islands. We can conveniently go and cash that in. And ArsonHorse's party is slightly less intelligent now, but they did get away.
That was a very fortunate run there. So tail not required, but very useful, as Knight will most likely have access to that Cure 4.
That's especially useful if he has to go man mode at some point and needs to bring the party back. So it looks like this ice cave might be done in one shot today, which is actually really refreshing.
considering what we've seen, I think that the runners actually benefited from not coming here early. They got a little more levels and have been able to get through.
Yeah, ArsonHorse got it, one go.
So the lead that DDG had, which was about 6 minutes taking to the air, is kind of slipping away at this point.
As you said, it's coming down to roading, and ArsonHorse is chose, in my opinion, the better road. Get nice cave out of the way and get in the tail. He's gonna come up. He didn't do these isles at all yet, so he's gonna do it all at once. He's gonna promote while he's here.
Those R bones are giving DDG the business right now.
And DD takes a death. The rest of the party must fight on. Fred is poisoned.
Arbone can be a bit of a problem. It's not an enemy that most enemies would consider dangerous. They can roll pretty high hit points sometimes, and if they get stun touch, sleep touch, they'll slow you down.
And those frosties look a little fiery today, don't they?
We've got Argoyles using Blizzard. This is like the anti-seed.
In any case, ArsonHorse is about to grow up. ArsonHorse has grown up.
Every Pokemon trainer will tell you that the tail is super effective. So, quick reminder, we've got some more races going on tonight for Final Fantasy Randomizer. At 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, which should be underway now. On Randomania, we've got one of our more exciting matchups of the tournament going on. It was kind of put together at the last moment by our amazing crew. And before I botch any names, I'm going to get it right.
And while you do that, while you get that information, speaking of other races, we do have a race later on Speed Gaming 3 between Gregory Puff and Captain Nerd 2, so you can also check that out later over on Speed Gaming 3. Here on this channel, we're going to be following this race with the Zelda 1 randomizer race, and that race, I'll bring up quickly, is between two runners. It is between Truant Gamer and Captain Green 7, and I'll be with you for that race as well. So I'll be here for pretty much keeping you company all evening.
Hey, I like it. Get comfortable, everyone. The voice of Cyclone. Arson is making his way toward the waterfall now. We're going to get a look at some uncharted territory.
And I've seen a couple of seeds where this has been a nasty location. Let's see what we end up with today. We haven't seen too much in terms of really, really nasty spell combinations yet. They got to be hiding somewhere, some of the really nasty ones.
Let's see, we've seen Toxic, we've seen Blizzard, we've seen Cremate. There's still quite a few on the table.
There are. Dazzle paired with Inferno, that would probably be bad.
Yeah, nothing worse than taking those big damage spells and skills and not being able to do anything about it.
Exactly. ArsonHorse is having a very simple time with this so far, though.
DDG is almost through this ice cave. He's had a little more stumbles than Arson had coming through here.
He also has a coral sword for his efforts, which ArsonHorse obviously picked up as well. Gonna get the rune sword right now and some money. And it's his turn for the eye.
Are we going to see Out of Bounds Bat tonight, everyone?
Oh, DDG's gonna grind on the ice.
I mean, at this point, why not?
We
I
had
hope he
outbounds
can get out of
back.
here. He does have 2 white mages, so he's pretty much set on healing for getting out. And yes, we did have the sighting. This is good juju for ArsonHorse.
Ooh, Dragon armor is hiding in there. You're not gonna be able to grab that. Yes, drop something. Yeah, that cloth is a good candidate to drop. Oh, we have a slab.
Yes,
And
this robot must be most intelligent.
yeah, the robot knows how to block the door. And there's out of bounds bat again. If you missed it, that was out of bounds bat. You have to go back and come back next time and see it next time it happens.
Speaking of door blocking, also a skill that bats excel at in this game.
Yes. Oh, I'll never forget the one where it happened in Earth Cave. 3rd floor.
Yeah, that's one of the worst, and you're basically at the mercy of RNG if you don't want to take that reset.
Pretty much.
I've had it happen at least 2 or 3 times during a live stream, and it's great for the viewers. I mean, you just got to sit back and grab a snack and say, okay.
Yeah, we tend to enjoy it as viewers. As a runner, it's gotta be disgusting.
Well, I'll just say it made me hungry. Question in chat about out-of-bounds bat functioning. The devs have moved out-of-bounds bat to a location that makes it much more likely for us to see that. Granted, it can still hide on us sometimes and not want to show itself, but compared to the vanilla days and the early randomizer days, we see a lot more of out-of-bounds bat now.
You have to treat it like a Pokemon. It's a rare sighting. You have to be there to see it. Otherwise, it's not... You miss your chance.
And Arson has completed this waterfall. He did have to walk it out, but with a warp at level 6, unless you can get a lot of spell charges going.
Meanwhile, DDG is still grinding.
Yeah, at some point DDG has to do a grind. I think it might actually benefit him that he's doing it now in this ice cave. With only 1 fighter in this party, I think higher levels are going to be important for DDG.
Definitely. He is now all at level 17. The Titan's gonna get fed today.
Yay, everyone rejoice. I don't believe we've seen Fade yet either, so... Opal armor, the highlight of Titan stash.
And into the earth. Noting that we have no orbs lit for either runner yet, so I don't think we've seen a rod yet either, if I'm not mistaken, so we can't really get to the end of this cave unless that's in here.
Yeah, no rod has shown up yet. The loot is another one that is out there.
I think he's just doing this for an information search. He doesn't plan to actually keep anything in here. He's just making sure there's nothing in these chests.
Yeah, unless it's a big find. I think as our time comes up on almost an hour now, and there's still items available, the thought of that loose item is creeping into the back of these runners' heads.
It wasn't there. I thought he did this chest. Maybe I missed. Nope, he didn't. Opal Gauntlet and Light Axe. Go ahead.
Question in chat about who's in the lead at the moment. This time I would give Arson a slight lead, because DDG has taken a little more time to grind here.
But keep in mind, this is all speculative. We don't have anywhere way to know who is really in the lead until we get to the point that we start to complete the various dungeons, and then we can start to really pick out who we think is ahead.
Yeah, this could still go either way. And DDG has finished his grind now. He's going to try and get out of here. He did not heal.
He did not heal? Heal! He definitely did harm, though.
Arson picking up Quad X for the Red Wizards. Looks like he's going for heal 2 as well. That's a smart move from Arson. He knows that heal 3 is unavailable. He went right for heal 2. Know your spell slots, everyone. And yes, insert your veteran move memes.
I'll decline. We're gonna get our item up here now. Could this be the loot? Nope, it's a crown.
Yeah, there's another item for Arson. He's extending his lead here.
Now, he does have a lot of his items now, though. Looks like there's not that much left that could be up there.
He took a peek at level 8 white magic there. That tells me he's still looking for something at level... Or, excuse me, something his mages can learn. Probably Fade.
Looking on the tracker, it looks like neither runner's checked Matoya yet. There's our loot. So I was kind of right.
So wait, the Kindly King was not only the Dark Elf, but also possessed the loot, which his strange brother in FF4 seems to dislike.
Weird.
DDG now getting his class change. I would say that the class change probably benefits Arson a bit more than DDG at this point. Arson's now going to make his way over to the Castle of Ordeals.
Now, what is the Castle of Ordeals? Some newer people may ask. It is a place where you write a final exam on how to be a warrior. Going with that theme, since a lot of college students are getting through exams right now.
I think a lot of the metaphor with the tale and Ordeals itself comes from the fact that not only are you battling new sets of enemies here in the vanilla game, but you also have to use your brain a bit to get through the teleporter maze. As DDG makes the good play of checking Astos Castle, picks up that ribbon and white shirt.
Good thing he checked that while he was there. That was a good play. I just realized he doesn't have the crown yet, so he has gonna have to come back like ArsonHorse to complete that later. That loot is needed in Temple of Fiends Revisited.
We're nearly at 1 hour now. Excuse me, 1 hour now, and despite both runners taking to the air relatively early, we have no orbs lit.
And ArsonHorse's Fire 3 makes quick work of those mummies, as he is now in still the Palace of Ordeals. Temple of Ordeals, rather. It has a nightmare right now. The nightmare won't cause it too many problems.
So here's a factor for DDG that Heal 3 was unlearnable by the Red Wizard. If we see a lot of high damage spells like Nuke, Poison, Swirl late, that Heal 3 on both White Wizards might benefit him.
Lots of money inside here today. Finds a couple of gauntlets. Finds a rod. That's going to get him through Earth Cave.
It is, and I believe that might just be go mode for Arson.
That may be all of his items, yeah. We haven't found any of the loose items, from what I can tell, but looks like they might not be important today.
I think we found a ribbon.
Is a ribbon considered a loose item?
Let me double check the flag set and see if it is incentivized.
Because there's 3 of them in the seed.
Ribbon is an incentive item, so the...
I think I'm trying to remember if we saw one. I'm assuming it's only one of the ribbons, and it's held by a character, or it could be getting that third random ribbon in chest. That's what I'm assuming. But
there was
I'm trying to
one
remember
loose in Key Locked Astos.
and one in Temple of Fiends.
Yeah, both those were loose. So
By the way, while we're thinking about the ribbons, just a shout out to Dafaret60 who just subscribed with Twitch Prime. Thank you and welcome to the Speed Gaming family.
what's up, hype? Thank you so much. We appreciate it. Looks like we had an Excalibur that was picked up.
Yeah, those. Looks like that happened while I was welcoming our new subscriber here.
So everybody has their own favorite sword in our community. And indeed, each sword has its own perks about it. Excalibur will be effective against any enemy that has a type of elemental weakness. Say undead, or an ice enemy that's weak to fire. Excalibur will exploit all of those.
Okay, our runners are thinking along the same wavelength right now. They both want to get this volcano done.
Yeah, I think both of them are checking their timers now, and it's 1 hour. It's time to get some orbs lit.
Yeah, now I think we still have to light up the rod on ArsonHorse's side, but other than that, yeah, he has all the items on the top right. I think it's safe to say at this point he is definitely in the lead, because he has all those items, and there's still some things there that DD will need that he doesn't have. So that will be a bit of an edge for ArsonHorse this time, to just go and try and get all the orbs lit while BD still has to do some wandering around and exploring. So at this point, ArsonHorse definitely does have an advantage.
I think we have not quite attained Go mode yet. The chime is still around, I believe.
I thought we found... Oh, maybe it's in a loose chest. I thought we found it. Maybe not.
I do not see the chime on the tracker. I don't believe we found the chime yet. And chime is most definitely required.
Yeah, crystal, which would be for Matoya, which means Matoya could be the one that has the chime, so we may have to find that crystal in the chest. Oh, that's sufficiently disgusting.
So a flame armor also in the armory along with that defense sword. DDG's got to be happy to find that.
This just brings up a question. Oh, apparently crystal was found by DDG, so DDG does have the crystal. I don't remember where it was, but it was found. Apparently it was in a... Someone is saying a chest in Ordeals, but I'm not sure if that's the same comment.
Crystal and chime loose. Crystal could lead to chime. Thank you to Tyrnix for our tracker. I'm checking the notes there now.
The bulls are making ArsonHorse rather slow and unintelligent. And I just put him to sleep. Well, that's just charming.
So despite a great deal of divergence and differing parties, we have both runners coming together in Volcano with kind of the same motivation, I think.
Looks like we may have had a mistake in the comment. That was the ruby and not the crystal, apparently.
Sometimes it's easy to get these gems mixed up.
Yeah, try Aquamarine and, you know. So, Fiend Fight number 1 of the day, we have a carry sighting.
What you got for us tonight, Carrie?
Well, we're starting with Thorax for 27 damage, not much. Temper is utilized. So weapons are strengthened for Noin, who now throws a 294 damage out, and Gun takes a gunshot.
This carry seems a bit agitated.
Yeah, a little bit. So Noin gets more help, and 402 damage is enough to take Carry out. First orb is lit, and exit.
1 hour, 6 minutes, 40 seconds. Arson has what I would say is a decent lead at this point, and an orb. So the way things are developing here, I think DDG has to hope more and more for kind of a nasty temple that favors his party and its extra healing.
So ArsonHorse has gone checking key doors now because he still wants to find that loose item. I don't blame him personally. So
We know. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Nope, go ahead. We found Excalibur up here for ArsonHorse. DD has that.
We know that Sea Shrine is going to be very bad, as well as the sea floor.
They're going to be disgusting. And ArsonHorse doesn't know that yet. I think it was DD who checked that out. And that seems to be where he might have lost a little bit of time trying to go upstairs.
He's going to check the red D chest. Taking the damage tile down to carry. Every time you step on a damaged tile, you avoid advancing a step in the encounter table. And Arson has made his way to Onrak. He's going to discover what awaits him here, as there is Fade at level 7. Fast and Nuke also at level 7. Oh my goodness. So that's a big story there. Those are 3 of the spells that you don't want to see at level 7. And their charges are going to be limited coming into Temple.
Yeah, you don't want to see charges limited on spells that you need. That would be, that'll make things a lot more challenging for sure.
DDG lights his fire orb, and he is on his way to his next destination. So with that knowledge of Sea Shrine, I'm sure DDG will probably avoid Sea Shrine like the plague, but with no chime available yet, his options are becoming more and more limited. Is he going back into Marsh? No way.
He is. What is he? Oh, the loose item could be down here. Just as I thought it could be earlier. Now he's going to try and see if that's the case.
This is a very low percentage play, and this is a big gamble from DDG.
But given how much he's checked out, I can't blame him for doing this. At the same time, I might focus on doing the other dungeons instead, because they have to be done in order to complete the seed.
If he finds something in one of these keylock chests, then the lead that Arson has built is suddenly gone.
Yeah, it's all of a sudden going to be a different ballgame if that happens. Meanwhile, mermaids. Ah, we found a ball cap.
Yeah, DDG has yet to find that canoe, and he knows that it's going to be required to get to Ordeals. as well as Waterfall. And that's where he's going. He's going for these key lock chests. Arson giving our first look at Mermaid Floor here.
Yep, I haven't seen. I've been watching it. I was just gonna say I haven't seen anything, but there's the crystal for Matoya, and odds are Matoya has the chime. So that, if that's not the case, and DDG finds the chime down here, or DDG rather, then that would be quite a play.
Wow, crystal loose in mermaids. This could be a huge play for Arson. DDG was on his way to this location, and he ran into some really nasty, unrunnable enemies.
At his levels, they weren't convenient to deal with, so he left.
Yeah, this could be the play of the match here, depending on what that crystal ends up getting out here.
And that was just a gold bracelet in the last chest. DD is sufficiently annoyed at this point and resets out.
He's got to get back to Sea Shrine if he's going to stay close.
He needs to get back there now, yeah.
It's a pretty, I would say about 90% chance that that crystal will end up leading to the chime.
I'm just ready to say it's almost 100%. I don't know if we've seen the second loose item, unless it was one of the ribbons, like you said. But other than that, I'm not sure if we've seen it. So if that second loose item has been accounted for, then we're looking at the chime, I'd say almost 100% being on Matoya.
We will have answers soon.
The answer will be available presently. Please stand by.
So both runners were going around very low level early on, and they've quickly managed to catch up. They're right around levels that they should be now for this time in the run. Maybe a tad bit low. DDG obviously doing that odd grind.
Here's a funny little comment that's coming out in chat. Apparently the funny thing is that DDG has to ditch the airship for the ship to get to Vanilla Onrak, to get the herb, to get the canoe.
Yeah, that's one of these seeds. That's absolutely correct. So, the play that we thought was going to benefit DDG early in finding the floater in Marsh actually kind of worked out to bite him, you know, in the back end a little bit, as Arson sailed and was discovered that herb.
Yeah, that turned out to be absolutely vital to ArsonHorse's run. You wouldn't think that the airship first is the bad play here. And it's not that it's a bad play. Obviously, you get lots of time flying around, but it can lead you away from those really, really weird scenarios where something like that can happen.
The good news for DDG is, aside from Earth Cave and Sea Shrine, he knows that he's covered just about everywhere else. So he will be finding out this, I think, sooner than later.
But it might be too little too late at that point.
Yeah, especially when you're up against a runner like Arson, who once enters go mode, we know Arson will go, and he will gamble with low levels late.
When Arson goes, he goes.
DDG flying around now. He's got to be starting to sniff this out. He's got them thoughts in his head.
Going to the Blue Find location here, it looks like. And finds more moldy dinosaur.
Yay, steak. Yeah, canoe absolutely required.
And he finds on rack. He's off to the Sea Shrine.
This is a good play for DDG at this point. And he, again, I don't think Arson has seen nearly a number of unrunnables that DDG has. He's been a little bit luckier going through here.
I was finding gray sharks and sharks right now. Runnable.
So the only plus side of these unrunnable encounters in Sea Shrine is that your guaranteed experience.
And that's another reason why runners will skip a lot of fights, because they know they're going to have to play some of those fights out anyway. They get some experience off of those anyway, so there's no need to grind as much as you might otherwise.
And knowing your encounters is also very important. Knowing how much experience you get from said enemy group. It's doesn't seem like much when you play vanilla. When you come into randomizer, whole new ballgame.
ArsonHorse is approaching level 20 right now. And he has left the Siege Tribe without lighting his orb.
Yeah, I think he's starting to feel out these unrunnable encounters as well. And definitely having to adapt a little bit. It looks like he's going to res here. Question in chat about how big is Arson's lead. Approximately 10 minutes, I would say. Somewhere around there. With DDG doing Shrine now, he's going to catch up maybe slightly. But again, he's going to have to get back on the boat at some point.
ArsonHorse wanted to check out the crystal. That's what he's... This is gotta be our Shrine. Has to be.
And it is confirmed Matoya the Witch does have the Chime, and Arson will now have access to Mirage. He's probably going to head there. I don't think he wants to go back to that Shrine until he's comfortable, loaded, high-leveled.
And Mirage will help with that, unless we find something silly like Zap on Catman again.
Now, what does Arson do here, though?
Those ghosts look nasty on DD's side.
Yeah, they hit pretty nasty, too. He's in a bit of trouble here.
Ladies and gentlemen, the new Fire Wraith. Please enjoy.
Burn them!
And DD's at level 21, by the way.
So what does Arson do here? Is he going to take some encounters? Is he going to dig some chests here? He's, you know, pretty much in go mode now.
Right now he's trying to get to the tower. And now saving outside. And see what kind of encounter he can get here. Hey, steak.
Yeah, he's working that encounter table, which tells me he's probably going to go mode here. Moving his mage staff down to the white wizard, which already has a light axe. Not sure about that move. DDG now on the mermaid's floor. He's probably going to feel a bad feeling in the pit of his gut when he discovers what's here, knowing he was just steps away.
And there it is. So ArsonHorse has come upon a group of wyvern who don't die to lightning. That one did. And now they all did.
I think we'll see DDG kind of put the pedal to the metal now. It's all going to be about when he decides to get to Onrak and get back on that boat. It takes anywhere from 3 to 4 minutes to complete that chain of events. The lack of warp and exit has really caused a lot of walking to go down in this seed.
Or in the case of getting to the Onrak locations, some swimming in the sea.
Question chat about DDG's tracker. To our knowledge, it is updated. He was unable to secure the herb, which leads to several more items.
Yeah, we have the lazy dwarfs giving the TNT who don't want to walk it over to their buddy. Always nice to see them just being lazy.
Question in chat, is this best of 3? No. We are in the Swiss stages of the Final Fantasy Randomizer tournament, as ArsonHorse has found the Vorpal Blade.
Did. And he's not against either weapon, he's going to use them both.
Our tracker Tyrnex informing us that some of the icons have been delayed in lighting up. It does happen from time to time, and we know that Speed Gaming is very busy. So we do thank them, and we know that we will resolve these issues as soon as we can. Arson coming up on the Bridge of Destiny. If our chat is hungry for a war mech tonight, then we need to let you know now.
Yes, let's get those prayers in chat, people. We must see the robot chicken! Or whatever you want to call it.
It's almost creepy because there is sort of a similar aesthetic.
Oh, no luck on encounter number 1. Just a couple mud balls and a sorcerer.
Triple War Mech hype, it's extremely rare, but it can happen. I think in the tournament we've only seen the double War Mech so far.
When will be the first triple?
It'll probably be in my race.
I know you're probably looking forward to that. So that's a Naoko.
Nachos, healthy experience.
And looks like we're not going to get our war mech on ArsonHorse's side today, unfortunately.
No mech, aw.
I'm being told that a runner did apparently have 3 in a row in a race last night. So, those of you watching on YouTube or seeing this race on YouTube, go back in the playlist by 1 or 2 races and you might find it.
It happened last night? Holy crap.
Now I have to go watch that again because I didn't watch that part of it.
Oh, what happened in that match? Okay, yeah, I still need to catch that match. I've heard amazing things about it. As DDG now discovers the chime, and he's got to be kicking himself. You know you got to step on it now, DDG. Send him your thoughts, chat. Tell him, go to the boat.
Go to the boat.
Meanwhile, Arson has lit up the orb of the sky, and is on his way, most likely back to Sea Shrine very soon. And it looks like DDG is going to dig in Mirage. He's going to lose precious time here.
Especially to these chimeras, they don't fight fair. They got away from them. I think ArsonHorse did just clear time out, if I'm not mistaken.
He did, yes.
Okay, so we probably need to light up his orb here.
Yeah, it could be a delay going on currently.
Yeah, very possible.
DDG finds himself a ribbon in the first floor of Mirage.
And back to the Sea Shrine for ArsonHorse. And he is meeting the unrunnable Naga and Water Pro combo.
So that makes at least 3 or 4 different combinations of unrunnables we've seen purely in the Sea Shrine set.
I think we've seen that one already, actually. And the Naga by itself is unrunnable, by the way.
So in Temple, the enemies that can appear there, you can get the Naga and Water sets. You can get the Seafood Party platter pack. You can get the Gray Sharks and the Big Eyes. And I think you get a Gray Shark and Wizard Shag encounter as well, along with the just Waters, which is atrocious.
And Gunn gets to see how strong the ghosts really are.
These ghosts are chameleons. Yes, I call them the Dreadwaters, and no one wants to see them, especially in a deep temple dive.
So we're getting a few more chests out of the way here. There's a cabin, a wooden shield, and not checking the last chest apparently.
Yeah, Arson just checking chests along the way here, probably hoping for something like a bonk.
Ooh, Sunsword. I think D's gonna pick that up. Or not.
He passes on the Woat Sword, wow. And he's leaving Mirage, so he just wanted to check the chest of Mirage here. He doesn't have a cube, so...
He just checked the chest and he did not go back to pick up the Sunsword. He reset out.
So the only real benefit of that dive of Ribbon... Unrunnable and Kilo, that's going to slow him down a little further. They have high attack and absorb. Arson's going to be encountering some tentacles very soon.
Tentacles. Oh! Yeah, we are going to get by this Grey Shark. There may be one or two more encounters, and we will have a Fiend fight very, very soon here. Cure 4 is utilized again. And here it is. Release the Kraken!
One thing we haven't made much note of yet is that the encounter table itself is not very friendly. There's only really one hero run in the table that we've seen.
So ArsonHorse using some lightning there, and I guess 2 hits with 222 damage, 4 hits with 222 damage. Thorhammer is used. There's 367. That was a pretty wimpy Kraken today.
Yeah, Excalibur, a fine choice for exploiting the elemental lightning weakness. And he has another Orblet. And it looks like Arson is going to be headed into Temple probably within the next 3 to 4 minutes. He is going to stock up first. This is a good play. He knows what that Sea Shrine has to offer, so stocking up, very important. He's also going to get that all-important Cure 4 on these knights, along with life. Excuse me, he only has 1 knight. Veteran move. Yes, DDG needs to hit Ordeals, and he can't because he doesn't have that canoe yet. In order to get that canoe, he has to take the boat over to Onrak.
So, ArsonHorse is going right through Earth Cave right now. We're on the 2nd floor. These rooms are a bit of a maze. I'm not a fan of this cave myself because of the time maze rooms, but Once you know the path, it's not that bad.
Arson going for these chests here. He wants that power bonk. I'm almost certain. I don't think he's going to go too far out of his way looking for it, but he is going to check a few chests here and there. Okay, we did see a seafood encounter on DDG side that was runnable. So that's actually a good sign. It was just lobsters and sea trolls.
That is a good sign, yes. And I think the lobsters and sea trolls were unrunnable for him earlier, so it might have been a level unrunnable earlier when we saw it earlier.
Yeah, tracker noting now, Arson's lead is growing by the moment. DDG's only real hope at this point is for a vicious Temple of Fiends, which is possible with what we've seen.
It's kind of weird when you're hoping for a vicious final dungeon. Now, speaking of bosses and dungeons, we just hit a speed bump.
Oh no!
What?
Okay, excuse me. I had a bit of a stream delay there. I thought DDG might have wiped.
Oh no, he's fine.
And yes, I think everyone as a viewer is kind of hoping for that triple nuke chaos or something nasty in Temple. Anything that will prolong the race.
Anything that will give DDG a chance to come back and do something really interesting and funny to end up winning.
It would be very ironic because in that case, DDG has the slight advantage, I would say, due to his double white mages.
And once again, release the Kraken!
A very green Kraken.
On grass. And yes, I understand that's how the town thing works, but very interesting to see.
So, Cyclone, while I got you here, what is your favorite fiend?
I don't really have favorites, they're all evil. But if I have one that I want to see mess up runners at the end of Temple of Fiends, it would definitely be Time Out.
Partial to the dragon.
I mean, Kraken's the one that everyone hates, so I want to see Kraken be... Let's see, and then they fall to the dragon.
I like Lich myself. Lich is always the mysterious one.
Never get to see him long enough to know anything about him. Until that one seed.
So I've noticed Arson has been making use of the zigzag route for the airship, which has been proven to save time. It's input heavy. And at 1 hour, 35 minutes, ArsonHorse has entered Temple of Fiends Revisited.
Up slightly before that, and DDG does defeat the Kraken! But has 2 Fiends left to go, so this is going to take a wing and a prayer, and maybe a couple more wings for DDG to get back in this race.
Yeah, his options for digging here are very slim.
And meanwhile, we enter the Phantom's lair. By the way, fun fact, the Phantom's room is locked by the Mystic Key. So you can't get around that if you try to get around all the different key locks in the game. You can't get through that one without the key. So the 2 chests in that room were not checked. And ArsonHorse is now back on the 2nd floor.
Skipping the validation chests. And the key lock door is actually below the Phantom. You can get in and fight the Phantom. But once you go to the next floor, you are locked in.
Oh, is that the one? Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of a nasty little trick the game plays on you right at the end. Of course, vanilla runners would have no clue because the key comes so early and you have to get it.
Yes.
DDG has discovered he needs to make the play, and he is making it now.
DDG has acquired his ship once again. And now he's just trying to figure out where to go, how to drive that thing, because he hasn't driven it for a while.
I think he's raging at this point. I would definitely not be sailing close to him.
No, I would not want to be this odd-eye right now. Fortunately, he's not fighting it, so...
Arson taking an ambush here from these white dragons.
But in the end, the Frosties don't prove to be too much trouble. Now we're on the Earth floor. What kind of earthly creations will we find here today? Oh, just more Earth. Okay. Oh, one tile later, 7 green Medusas.
These green Medusas are not playing around. They can have high hit. If they roll Death Touch, Stun Touch, you're most likely going to be affected by it. Looks like these ones aren't too bad.
But these ones seem benign, so moving on to the Lich Trap tile and cue the fight.
Come on, Lich, surprise us.
Weak! That was weak.
Lich definitely underwhelming in this seed.
Like, about 9% of them.
DDG discovering that his red wizard cannot learn warp.
Meanwhile, DD has finally found the mages who are sniffing the herb.
Yay, DDG. I'm sure that he will be putting the pedal to the metal once he discovers his next progression here, which will be the rod.
And now he just has to wait for the wizards to be kind enough to get out of his way. There they go.
He'll actually discover the canoe first, then the rod. As Arson is coming up on carry 2.
And is in
will this
that
be a
fight.
forgettable carry?
White shirt, making it easy to dodge. And will Carry get a masterful hit in? Well, only about 108 damage, not bad. The damage from the Warriors, however, is not as good. 59 damage for that one hit. More white shirt dodging. XXXX does not do anything. 241 from the Warrior. Cure 4 helps Jin back to tip-top shape. Crack is attempted, and ATST is slain. But the battle is won.
Apparently that's how you bring down the ATST, is you take the legs out underneath it.
Apparently. And welcome to probably one of the worst water floors you're going to see.
Wow, we saw a coral
of
sword
course.
equipped there.
We have the unrunnable waters here, which is predictable. So, there's the canoe. The probably gritting his teeth a little bit right now.
Yeah, 1 hour, 40 minutes. Not a good feeling. Arson fortunate to have Ice 3, which is the best spell to use against those waters. And he gets a bit of a hero run there at the end of the water floor.
Meanwhile, release the Kraken again! Will the enhanced version of the Kraken be any more punchy than the other?
Oh, Tentacled 1.
That was not much of a punch. Poetry was not intended. The temper is utilized. Lightning doesn't really do much. There's a kill.
Wow, back-to-back lightning too.
So we got our baby Kraken here. So that means we're coming up on the run killer right here. I'm gonna call it now.
Yeah, that was a paper squid.
This is gonna be the run killer. Nuclear first turn, probably.
DDG now coming into Ordeals. He's gonna like what he finds here. Not much from the Massmian there. Team at 2 hitting the Red Wizard for about 240 damage. Not too bad.
342 from Noyan right now, yep.
Much better shot that time.
One or two more good shots like that, we should be good, I think.
Vorpal coming in with a big crit.
163 that time. Didn't get a lot of hits in that time. So Timon hasn't shown us anything particularly threatening yet. That hit was definitely not anything particularly threatening.
Wow, very tame temple thus far in terms of these fiends.
What did you expect? We had a free Mazamune at the start of the race.
We've seen a bunch of highs and lows in this one, that's for sure. Fire 3 coming out now.
Yeah, Fire 3 did a little bit of damage to some of them.
DDG picking up the rod. He's going to take this zombie dragon encounter.
And terminated. So ladies and gentlemen, that means there's only... Well, hold that thought. We have to deal with a worm intermission first. Okay. That means there's only one... Hold on, we have to deal with an area intermission now. An ambush. As DD gets out of Castle of Ordeals. Okay. Now, there's only one thing left that we have to deal with. We have a big, raging beast of a, what used to be Garland, waiting to devour us, and let's see if that happens.
Lots of things still on the table here. No nuclear, no nuke. Haven't seen Swirl, haven't seen Tornado.
Cure 4.
Could they all be here?
Cure 4.
Have not seen Cure 4.
A nuclear and then a Cure 4 after 3 or 4 rounds would be devastating. So there's Temper on Noin. We have a Blizzard to start off. That is quite an opening salvo, but Jin and Noin aren't going to be affected by that too much.
He's getting his buffs out. No fast could be a factor here. You do have Tempers, though. Quite a few of them.
So there's another Temper, yep. And another Temper. And the gun is slain again. The white shirt is going to be coming out again, make things easy to dodge. We have ink in the meantime, which is ineffective all around, except for ATST, who can't say a thing. White shirt is utilized again. There's 288 damage and 5 hits on Chaos. And might have been thinking about a XXXX, but went away from it. We have Wall being utilized. That will defend for ATST. Bane is not effective. We're getting the Bane strats, ladies and gentlemen.
I love it. Throw the Bane out there.
So there's Ice 2.
Big shot from Massa.
And there's an Ice 3 from ATST. Noin is going to damage for 593. We're getting the nuclear! And Fade is now put to use. Bane is no longer being utilized. Cure 4 is being used on Jin. Very nice. 606 terminated! And that is the race for ArsonHorse. Get your GGs in chat. As we can now confirm that ArsonHorse has an official SRL time of 1 hour, 46 minutes, and 3 seconds.
GG. Well played. Made that questionable gamble early. Actually ended up benefiting him, taking the ship there. Lots of veteran plays. Played it well till the end. GG ArsonHorse. Moving to 2-1 in the spring tournament.
And he is guaranteed to make it to the play-in race at this point. So whatever happens in the rest of the Swiss rounds, he is guaranteed at least one more race. DDG will go to 1 and 2 after this is completed, and finds his slab finally.
Return the slab.
Go to the good doctor.
Let's take a look at some of the stats here for Arson. 147 of 241 chests. Not bad considering what was needed in this run. 33 ambushes. That's hot.
210 battles and half of them ran away. Lower damage than I've seen for others.
Yeah, those are efficient numbers there, I would say. We're going to try to get ArsonHorse in here for a post-race interview.
Indeed. While we wait for just a reminder to stay tuned on Speed Gaming 3 later, we are going to be seeing Gregory Puffs versus Captain Nerd 2 happening on that channel in about an hour or so from now. Meanwhile, on this channel in about half an hour or so, we're going to be seeing Zelda 1 Randomizer. The Zelda 1 Randomizer, again, is between Truant Gamer and Captain Green 7. So that's going to be coming up on this channel.
And I think we are joined by ArsonHorse now. GG.
GG.
Good game. Thanks. My initial reaction is this game takes a long time without warp or exit.
Yeah, that was
level 8 or something. Because warp was unavailable totally, as was fast.
Yeah, warp was level 6 in the second slot this time around, so that could not have been a fun thing to see. Well, there is one question I will immediately ask here. What were your thoughts on that that lovely early Temple of Fiends?
It was... You're basically set up for success. You're like in soft go mode from the first 3 chests, right? Because you're like, I have the masa and a ribbon. I'm probably going to get another one. Ironically, the second ribbon wasn't the quest ribbon this time. But it's like, okay. Or maybe it was, and that was the one out of Temple of Fiends, right? Who knows? But it was set up for success, and the level 1 life on night was icing on the cake with the Cure 4, so I was pretty confident, especially after I found Masa Ribbon. It's like, hail is optional, always welcome, but I'm pretty sure the white mage isn't dying this time around, just in case tailless is a thing.
Yeah, DDG went and remade his party as soon as he saw the life and the Cure 4. He's like, well, goes and remakes his party, gets all his proper names back on there, lost about a minute remaking his party. But he went with the 2 white mages. You had the same party initially, but he eventually went with the 2 white mages. I'm also liking what E-Tap is referring to that starting area as the Temple of Friends.
It was very nice. I got a little worried there with the stones, especially with the soft price being like 450. So I was like, oh, I'm sorry, ATST, but you must remain a statue for the morale of the party. And I will save you when I can. But
tell us a little bit about that Marsh cave. You decided to step out early and take a bit of sailing, which actually ended up benefiting you huge.
Yeah, I dove Marsh a little early because I only had was Ice 3, and Ice 3 is not a very good Marsh cave spell. A lot of undead there, and Ice 3 is not going to do a lot. So I dove the top because I have, loose items. I don't think top was super impressive, but then I'm like, I'm struggling to get out of here, so I think I'm going to wait on it. I haven't seen the bottom. I think leaving was a good choice, because seeing those mucks with cremate, I believe it was, would have tore me up if I tried to clear that at the time. So I'm like, I forgot boat's a thing. I was a little rocky on some of the sailing, I think, in there, but it worked out in the end, even though Floater ended up in Marsh. Sailing is always a decent choice.
DDG did eventually end up back in the Marsh Cave and did dig out the rest of those chests. Didn't find anything in there. He just got his crown and is now getting his loot from King Astos right now. So that's where he is. 2 of his orbs are lit. He doesn't have desert, or I should say Mirage. Sorry, and he doesn't have Earth yet. He didn't go back to the boat for a long time. He got his airship. He didn't turn back, and he just did everything with the airship and could never get to his canoe. That's what was really holding him back in this race.
Yeah, canoe is just such a big progression item in these seeds. It's almost worth just going to all incentives that are out there to find it before floater. Like, I'm sure we've all had those seeds where it's like, well, I've got floater, but I don't have canoe, so it's like Ordeals is still off limits, especially if you have like no ship, and it can go without a frustrating.
You can go without a ship in some seas, but you can't go without a canoe.
Yep, you need canoe.
So Arson, you moved to 2-1 in the spring tournament now. Tell us how you're feeling about that, and how you feeling about next week.
Feels great. I'm sure I'll play someone who's feeling really confident, and it should be another great match. I think I've executed pretty well overall. I think a few things in the first one I'd like to take back, and a few things from this one. But overall, I think it's been pretty successful for me so far, regardless of record.
When I saw would agree.
Those green Medusas with the first strike on Earth floor, I was in a cold sweat because of Crystal's run the other night. It's like, do they have Death Touch? No. Do they have Blaze? No. Get through this. So I didn't have to manipulate the encounter table like somebody with an IQ 160 or brute force it. And
I think Sarah still needs to watch that race. Actually, he said.
It's a doozy. I'd recommend it.
I continue hearing all the fanfare about it. I will be getting to that. Tell us about that Sea Shrine a bit. It was a lot of unrunnable encounters in there.
Sea Shrine was taking a very long time. You're absolutely correct. I felt pretty alright with my cleric since I had Fire 3 and Lightning 3. And obviously the Masa was such a layup. Where did Excalibur come from again? Is that Earth chest? I don't remember.
I want to say
somewhere.
I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't recall exactly, but having the Excalibur Masa was very nice. In Sea Shrine, when I knew it was in Lafine, I think my plan was, well, at this point I know there's at least there's a loose crystal, or, well, there's a loose crystal, and it leads to either ribbon or chime, and I'm thinking, I don't want to revisit, see if I don't have to, because it's Lafine, and why would you take that run twice if you had to? I ended up doing it, because A, my white mage died, and I was in kind of rough shape, and B, I just wanted to provide myself with absolute certainty that crystal led to what I needed, and it did, so then it was super go mode the rest of the way down.
You only checked a few chests once you had full progression. Were you kind of hoping to find that Power Glove?
Power Glove is always nice insurance. I figured with the level 3 temper with no competition, that's what's 12 temper charges total. Figure I use, 3 or 4 on crack and 3 on time it and save the rest for cast. It worked out, especially with the tempered Masa, definitely. If I didn't have access to such easy temper, or I would have had to 1v1 cast, I probably would have switched to Vorpal on the night. But since I had temper and I felt confident I could get them off, I went Masa, especially after getting to 24 for that 5th hit.
Yes, that was a very good play. No fast either. I'm sure that factored into your decision making.
Yeah, definitely seeing fast locked. It's like, okay, at least we got temper. But you're absolutely correct. That Power Glove was, for one of the last items I would have wanted. I kind of miffed it there too with the double visit to Dwarf Cave. That probably lost me like 45 seconds with the double run to the chests since Adamant TNT, and it's like, come on, me. Should have waited on that.
The early race was very interesting. DDG had a pretty good lead. You took to the air about 6 minutes after he did, And he ended up doing a little bit of an eye grind in Ice Cave where he lost some time, and of course, he did not do the herb by sailing to Onrak, which ended up costing him all the time. But your routing was solid throughout. I like your zigzag through the air. That's a strat I don't see many runners using. I enjoy using it as well.
Yeah, I think it's pretty weird to get used to it first, because it's like it actually doesn't matter, right? Because it's always a straight line. But I think it kind of makes it a little easier since you're not like seeing ocean straight and then ocean down and then all of a sudden you see land. So it's fun.
Meanwhile, we have DDG ascending the Mirage Tower here. He's got 3 orbs lit.
Yep, he did take care of Lich in the Earth Cave earlier, so this is his final orb.
Is he checking greater than less than? I thought he was already in here.
I thought
he reset out, that's right. He reset out of
he
here.
He reset out. He was in here, yeah. He must have... I think he came back for the Sun Sword specifically, but he went around the room at first and then realized, you know what, I want that Sun Sword. So he went down, he picked it up now.
He did that one for you, Woat.
Sun Sword is an undeniably adequate weapon.
It is. It's also one of the more lucrative weapons because your fighter is able to equip it. Along with your red mage, I believe.
Yep.
So, DD escapes from the red-blue dragon.
I feel a war mech. I can feel it, guys.
I was a little bummed, but I figured I didn't have time.
Well, we were 4 floors away from a possible... 3 floors away from a possible war mech. Make that 2 floors away from a possible war mech. Make that 1 floor away from... You better get your Blessed RNGs in chat, everyone.
Oh, he just skipped Vorpal's sword. What will he ever do?
He did skip Vorpal.
Lyra with some fiery words for the Sun Sword in chat.
Here comes... Look at that! First go!
Oh my goodness.
He glares angrily at what's in front of him, and he's like, no. But you got away quickly. That was nicely done.
Alright.
DDG said, nope, we're not playing your game today.
And Chad is calling him out on it.
He's drawing that heat from the chat now. Chat hates to see anyone run away from that war mech.
That was an early war mech, so there could be a second one. We don't know yet. So the Blessed RNGs will be needed to get a second war mech.
I lost a race by 3 seconds last tournament, and I took a war mech in that race, so...
And no more war mechs arrive. Tiamat, however, is going to have a potential say. Well, maybe not.
It's a turquoise Tiamat, wow.
And the color palettes of this... Tiamat look just a little bit healthier today. Speaking of Lich earlier, he was a nice shade of blue.
Wall coming out. Wants to be sure that that knight is protected.
There's 403 damage on 1 attack. Fred is making everyone invisible. Good job, Fred.
An early wall is also another interesting spell. Early wall makes ribbons less required. Probably get away with only 1 or maybe even 0 if you're lucky enough.
Yes, I agree. I think wall is an underrated spell. It can change a lot of your meta if you don't have a ribbon. I was kind of surprised at DDD's choice to go with the 2 white mages early. I'm not sure I would have been influenced by the spell selection. It was very good, but I think it would take Fade to convince me.
Yeah, I agree. I think Ice 3 is always a solid level 1 option, and the Fear 4 is one of the better spells as well. And then Life, you're probably going to find Tail. So I think having 1 white mage was plenty good for this.
So quick update, DD did light his last orb. He is going in Temple of Fiends Revisit. Now, just to get a programming note, we do have a Zelda 1 randomizer here in 24 minutes, so we are going to try to stay with us for at least one run, maybe two if we have time, assuming he doesn't finish in the first run. And we will see if we can get him to finish, but we're probably not going to have time to talk to him after the race, unfortunately, because we are going to have to move on to the Zelda 1. We'll play it based on when he actually gets to the end.
Thank you so much, Speed Gaming, for hosting us, and we do appreciate your time.
Yeah, thanks so much. This was a pretty late schedule, so I really appreciate getting fit in.
Come on, DDG, get through this thing quickly. You can do it. You've got the party.
So now he has gone into the past.
I got faith. He's got this.
Yeah, I think he's got this. He's got good levels, and that was a fairly benign tempo that we saw on your side, so I think he shouldn't have a problem here. Unless he runs into a spell that you didn't from Fiend.
Yeah, it was pretty smooth.
Very tame.
Time it took a while, so I was getting kind of scared. You know, the more turns, the more opportunity there is for something really bad to happen. There were a lot of really high HP enemies in this scene. Like, Badmen were really meaty. Waters had a fair amount of life. I think the Sea Trolls had a lot of life, too. The images were absolutely terrifying. Like, 350 life and hit like trucks, 100 HP per character.
And DD, meanwhile, is getting a lot of Badmen in his encounters right now. That's not a good thing for him.
He only had about 70 heals coming in. He does have 2 white wizards, though, so he's got a lot of healing.
Sure, he has
heal 3 is really great.
Has some Cure 4s, too.
He's going to take the Phantom, maybe? Couple swings at it.
Going to swag, Masa, and White Mage strat. A lot of respect. A lot of respect.
We're gonna get to see the chests, which have 8,608 gold and an iron gauntlet.
Validation chests. So aside from water 4, not too much really concerning in this temple. We never saw one nuclear or nuke or swirl, tornado. Never saw any of it.
I think we got a nuclear on Chaos. But I think by the time it came out, I got all of my tempers off, so I was pretty confident. But yeah, very, very tame.
I wish I could get a temple like this.
Well, I guess the early runners in the week get a little kickback from how terrible it was for Will.
Yeah, we gotta keep the horrid ones for the weekend, you know? The bad ones have to be on the weekend. 100%.
Yeah.
You schedule on the weekend, sorry, you get what's coming to you.
Yeah. At least you got the time to finish it, too. People don't have to go to bed so early for work.
I mean, I even tried. I rolled this, and it was very benign.
I thought it was a really good seed. I think it really tested routing and ship versus floater. And placed emphasis on canoe. I think it was, I think 2 red mage, white mage fighter was the right party. I think double fighter, double red mage could have been pretty good, too. Because Excal and Massive both very discoverable.
With Black Mage Band, I actually liked the idea of putting the White Mage in the party. The 2 red was something that I wasn't sure about myself. I like the idea of 2 fighter, red and white, with a spell slot like this, because you got 2 fighters who can learn Cure 4. So that could be useful as well. There could have been a lot of ways to play this that would work really well.
Yeah, I think there's 3 parties that I would consider. I think fighter 2 red white might be the balance.
Required sail to on-rack. I think that was one of the main things we were looking for with this flag set, having to actually do that.
Yeah.
As Lich goes down with no problem at all, TDG is coming right through the flyer for here with no problem. You had a pretty good hero run there on the water floor coming out, Arson.
And
yeah, I was very happy.
And there's his weird-looking carry. can't even see half of them.
Carrie, you need to get some sun, girl.
Well, she lives on the second floor of Temple of Fiends Returned. I don't think she sees much.
Is Carrie actually female?
I believe so. I believe she is a Lamia.
And there's the nuke.
Ooh,
Yeah, that did look like a nuke, I think.
that was definitely a nuke. Alright. And White Mage even gets the kill. Good stuff.
Yeah, we were talking about it earlier in the race, as your lead kept getting bigger and bigger, that DDG would need a really nasty temple that was kind of suited to his party with, you know, fiends that are nuke happy and nuclear happy. We did not see any of that from your end.
We did not. I am very blessed by RNG this day. Nothing super awful. I think Marsh definitely could have thrown a curve there. But overall,
Oh yeah, we were making notes. Marsh was bad. Volcano was bad. There was blizzard enemies there. Red gargoyles, I believe.
wow, I got away from a couple packs of those. I think I had 2 party members dead on the way out from Armory Dive, and I encountered some gargoyles, and I was like, please, no. So I barely got away.
It's tentacle time.
Release the Kraken!
Yes, Q Cyclone. And again, it's a very green. Correct.
Yes. Ooh, that was a hard-hitting Kraken. He
Whoa.
did not have a chance.
Wow.
Ooh.
Alright,
Well,
he's got to buff the
those-
White Mage. White Mage strats. Carry the White Mage.
Yeah, this is where the white mage will shine. Extra buffs, heals. It's time.
Alright.
It's his time.
Alright, Is. You get to prove yourself that you're the baddest White Mage of all.
You mean Fred?
No. Does Fred have the Masa?
Fred is a white mage.
Well, Is is also a White Mage, but he's the White Mage with the Masa.
Yeah. Very true.
This is a team effort, though, clearly.
Yes.
Everyone has a very clearly defined role in there. So far, it's going pretty well outside of that first attack.
We know that Kraken 2 does not have that many hit points.
Thankfully. I think the only one that rolled above average at time at Chaos was slightly below 2,000.
I find it interesting that he hasn't tried using a Cure 4 on the fighter yet. Or, I mean, life, sorry.
One can always hope that someday it will work, like it does in GBA.
That would be absolutely insane, in my opinion.
It's been discussed before, but it was decided that you're taking it, you know, it's just too much. It's not Final Fantasy when you do it.
Nice lit 3 hit.
Kraken goes down without the knight. Who needs a knight anyway?
Life 2 is already such a crazy good spell. If anything, I'd bid for let you cast life in combat, so if you get the res off, they're 1 HP, prone to dying instantly. But even then, that's
Alright, DDG, you can do
Wow.
this.
Already 4 encounters on those 4, where some have none.
The encounter rate is increased, and I think it is the highest in the game on this floor. Alright, Turquoise Tiamat 2. Let's go.
Thinking about it, Bane is used. Nope, nothing happens. Fog 2, going to get the armor up, and then he's going to get some damage. Wall is utilized, defense utilized. So he's working on the buffs right now before he does any attacking.
Smart
Fog.
play there with the wall.
Fog 2 coming up again too. So here's the Bane. Can we get a poison smoke? Nope, ineffective.
Apparently your name has to be Will for that to work.
Yeah, apparently it only works for people whose name starts with Will.
Yeah, I'm sure Smoke is Will Cleos' favorite Mortal Kombat 3 character.
Finish him.
Fatality.
Nah. I'll get a 5. So that was the third Bane attempt, no poison smoke yet. White shirt used again. There's some Fire 3 from Tiamat.
Sticking with Excalibur on the night here.
There's a 71 damage. Bane! No!
I admire his persistence.
In my
I
week
w-
2
I
race,
would've-
I got it.
I'm surprised he didn't save the Banes for Chaos, though, to be honest. So Ice 2 is not too strong. Bane again. He might... No, I thought he canceled for a second. Go to the Thor Hammer. Here comes the Bane. Still no!
That was his last Bane charge, correct?
If it wasn't, he might have 1 or 2 more, but he's gotta be low now. Yeah, I don't think I see it used again, so he might be out.
He's going in.
Yeah, it's time to start swinging here.
Not getting a lot of damage. This is painfully slow.
Yeah, Tiamat's gonna go the whole 13 rounds here, it looks like.
I think Massa
And-
would have been a better selection for the night.
So Tiamat, after failing to fall to Bane 6 times, thinks for some reason that's a good idea to pull out on the Warriors. None of them were affected.
Yeah, I think I agree that I like switching the Masa to the Knight, even from a Red Wizard for a Kraken. I think just the extra 2 hits and the extra strength is too much to ignore. Excalibur's definitely a solid
Tornado! Oh!
There it is. We knew it was coming sooner or later.
Gotta do some healing now.
That's one thing he's got plenty of.
tepid lit too.
He's
So
being absolutely
minimal-
stymied.
It's a minimal heal compared to what the actual damage was. You might have to do another round of it to be a little safe. He is doing another round of it.
It's smart play. Nuclear could still come up. Nuke could still come up.
Or a lightning too.
Lot of those in the
Terminated! And then we have the matter of some air to run away from.
DDG gets the split decision at the bell.
Ding ding ding.
Time
Will
at
he stick,
KO'd.
Will he stick with Excalibur here for Chaos?
Uh,
I hope he doesn't.
I would change him as if you just get this done.
Yeah, I feel like you gotta ride Masa.
He's going with that ribbon.
Took it off the white mage with Masa.
Masa is on the white mage right now. Yeah, I changed it right now. Am I behind?
I think you're a little
No.
ahead.
Should be good. And he does put Massa on that night.
And Chaos is a lovely shade of blue and
Knight in
gray.
the front row, though.
Looks like Chaos got a hold of a green cap here and he's gone metal.
Ice 2 is, well, the 158 on ISS, who apparently is not capable of withstanding magic.
Left a knight in the top slot. Must feel confident in the ability to tank.
I think if he gets one more white shirt and the defense off, he's good to go there.
There's a Fog 2 coming out too. Improve the armor.
I think he's going to be okay for physical attacks at
Yeah.
that point.
He'll be tanking.
He's fine.
Zap!
Oof.
Nobody falls.
Fortunate.
He's got 3 ribbons, though, so that's really great for Zap.
It is.
I love the spell Zap Seekly. It's one of my favorite spells.
Your guilty pleasure?
I would agree. Exile of the 4th dimension, baby. The only
Spell Zap
enemy in
and
the
enter
game.
in the tournament.
Only enemy that resists it is Chaos. Granted, its hit rate's kind of low. We just ignore that.
Temper's coming out now. I think DDD's...
He is out of
Done
bait
this-
charges, so we're not going to see that again.
He's got the quad axe.
Fire 2 does some reasonable damage to ISS, who probably could use a Cure 4 right now.
I think if he just gets some crits, he'll be able to break through on this Chaos.
Going with the heel helmet.
Yeah, that's an interesting choice. Blizzard! ISS going down. Nope, he's still alive.
Did he wall ISS?
I don't... he took a much meatier hit earlier, so I'm not sure he did.
Yeah, that Blizzard was pretty pedantic. It was unwalled 77. That's a really good roll for DD.
It is, and no ribbon either, so...
Yep.
ISS does a wait for... Up, he's slain.
A lit 2. Yeah, definitely not having the wall cast. I feel like 56 is too high for a lit 2.
These other 3 warriors should survive, though, so ISS is just gonna take a dirt nap for the rest of this.
Yeah, I think we just gotta chip him down.
The extra Tempers here playing a big role. You were able to get through quite a bit faster.
Yeah, excuse me, I think the temper at level 3 with no competition was very, very good, and definitely tilted things in favor of Red Mage.
Do it, DD. Cut him.
Finish him! That was a crit, and now we have the nuke! Fred goes down instantly.
Oh no. Well, we know where that's accounted for now.
Nuclear! If we see a Cure 4. Well, not his Cure 4.
That's a rough sequence there.
That was
Fortunate
crit.
to survive.
Terminated!
Yay, DDG!
So-
GG!
We can confirm an official SRL time of 2 hours and 20 minutes flat. Unfortunately, we do have another race in 5 minutes, so we don't have time to do an interview right now. So I just want to say GG to DDG and also to you, ArsonHorse, our winner of the race. That does put DDG down to 1-2. ArsonHorse going to 2-1 in the Swiss rounds. Any last thoughts from you, Sardi, before we wrap up and turn it over to the next race?
Thank you all for coming out watching. Thank you, DDG and Arson Horse. I look forward to seeing the next round. Thank you, Speed Gaming, Cyclone, and Team Board.
And thank you, Sardi, again for joining me in the booth as well. Just reminder, follow both of our runners. In fact, I'll get the runner links in chat again here if we haven't already. The runner links are for ArsonHorse, as you see on the screen, and DD_GamingZ. So Gaming Z is one word there, Gamings. And make sure you follow my co-commentator Zardia as well, and our tracker Tyranex, who was on with us pushing the buttons today. Thank you for your fantastic help with that. Thank you everyone for watching. Stay tuned. Zelda 1 Randomizer is coming up. I'll be with you for that as well. So we'll be right back in a few minutes with that.